Hi, welcome you all to the presentation. This is more of a prelude to our main program, which is called the Food Mood. The idea of Food Mood was to understand how the different food choices that we make affect our mood, our emotions and our feelings. Yes, food and mood are very, very connected. The idea of this module is that if you are sitting with food on your plate in front of you, you are in a good position to decide whether you should be having this or that. And it does not come with a feeling of deprivation, but it comes as a happy choice. And you yourself become a skillful and intuitive eater. Most of the diet plans fail because they are not sustainable. The moment we get onto any form of diet, whether it is low carb or keto or any form of diet, we start getting the feeling of deprivation or making a sacrifice or giving up on one of our favorite foods. And that is why these things are not sustainable. The idea is not to rely on any other diets, but to be in the decision-making capacity yourself because you understand what is the right choice for yourself. And how are we going to do that? Let's see. Now, we all know that we can only improve what we measure. So what should we measure in our bodies? Is it the weight? Is it the inches? What exactly? So one of the most important parameters which we should be monitoring is the basal metabolic rate. Basal metabolic rate, also known as the BMR, is the amount of calories that you should be consuming in a day for your bodily functions to keep working. Which means, like, even if I'm not exercising, even if I'm just sitting throughout the day or I'm just lying down throughout the day, then there are still a lot of systems which are functioning in my body, such as the blood is pumping to the heart, which is known as the circulatory system. The hormones are being released, which is known as the endocrine system. The lymphatic system is moving the fat from around the body so that we can take out the energy from the fat stores, and so on and so forth. So these systems are all working inside without us even realizing it. So the basal metabolic rate is the amount of calories that you need to have for continuing with the basic life functions. Now there are two formulas here. It is different for men and women. For this you need your weight in kgs, your height in centimeters, and your age. If you plug these numbers in the formula, you will arrive at a number which says that this is the amount of calories you should be having to maintain your weight, to maintain your lifestyle. Now, of course, it depends on whether you are trying to lose weight or gain weight or maintain it. If you are interested to lose weight, then you should be having less than your BMR value, less calories than your BMR value. On the other hand, if you're trying to gain weight, you should be having more calories than the BMR. So once you have calculated your BMR number, you will know what is the amount of calories you should be consuming for your need. Now, let us understand how is this BMR energy used. Now, 70% of it is used to maintain the basic bodily functions such as circulation, respiration, excretion, basic movements, etc. 20% is for exercise, quick movements. We have to do something differently. We have to move around from one place to another. So that accounts for 20%, and 10% is used up for the digestion of food. Now this 10% can become slightly higher depending on the kind of food we are having. But 70% is used for basal metabolic functions. So let us see, can we really increase our BMR by exercising? First, let us try to look at what are the different forms of exercise available around us. Let's talk about cardio. Now, cardio can range from anywhere from walking, aerobics, Zumba, swimming, cycling, so on and so forth. Now, in a cardio session of 30 minutes, you would end up spending calories from anywhere from 150 to almost 300 calories, depending on the intensity of the workout. In case of boxing and interval training, these are more high calorie intense workouts, and you will end up spending anywhere between 400 to 500 calories for a 30-minute session, 30 to 45 minute session. Now, these are definitely more intense than cardio. Interval training is where you will do a session of very intense training followed by a small break. Again, you might have a 3-minute workout, intense workout followed by a half a minute break, or you can have a 30 seconds followed by 10 seconds break, and so on and so forth. It is known as interval training. On the other hand, weight training, uh, when we say the word weight training, it comes to our mind that we are pumping weights in the gym, but that is not the case. Weight training can come in many forms. For example, even Surya Namaskars or inversions in yoga or push-ups or planks. So here you are carrying your own body weight. You don't need to take help of weights or kettlebell. You can also use a resistance band, or you can use your own body weight to do weight training. Now, especially after 30s, it is strongly advised for men and women to be doing weight training to avoid the degeneration of their bones. In earlier days, we used to carry our, if you remember, we would travel on the train, we would be carrying our own luggages. From one point to another, we'll be carrying our groceries from mom and pop stores near our houses. But none of that is happening anymore, because at the click of the button, we are able to order groceries. Even for when we are going at the airport, we have these fancy trolleys with 4 wheels. So our bones, our bodies are not equipped anymore to carry weights, which was not the case earlier. And because of that, our bones and muscles start becoming weaker. And hence, the weight training is very, very important after 30s. Not only that, but if you do weight training, you tend to develop more muscle mass in your body, which is leaner, and the metabolism becomes much higher. Now, the beauty is that you will be burning fat not only during the session, but also beyond the session. It will carry on for a number of days. If we look at the last one, which is yoga stretching. Now, it may seem like yoga stretching is only 120 calories over 30 minutes. Why should I even be doing that? But the beauty is that if you are doing any of the stretching in yoga, it really moves your lymphatic system. Now, lymphatic system is responsible for transporting fat from one point to another so that we can take out the energy from that fat. Unfortunately, fat is not soluble in water and cannot use our blood circulation system to get transported throughout our body. So it relies heavily on the lymphatic system for transportation of fat throughout the body, which is directly linked to how much we move around, and hence the importance of moving and exercising. And no wonder they call sedentary sitting as a new smoking, because it really compromises the lymphatic system, and it enhances the deposition of fats, because if the fat is not moving around, it is very difficult for the body to take out energy from those fat cells. So here we see which are the different forms of exercise, and they can really contribute to around 20 to 25% of our BMR, in improving our BMR. But clearly a lot of it comes from directly choosing the food that we eat. And that is what we are going to cover in Food and Mood, because simply going on a diet is going to not work. It's not sustainable. It is going to lead you on a path of deprivation, anxiety, mood swings, so on and so forth. And that is why you need to understand the linkages between food, emotions, and how your bodily systems function. So some of the things that we will be covering in the weeks ahead is, one, why you should not diet and why it is not going to work. Macronutrients, the importance of macronutrients. Some of the people go on low carb diet, but that is really going to impact your headaches, mood swings, anxiety, and so on and so forth. Some people just go on a high protein diet, an animal protein diet, but this can lead to cholesterol, and this can lead to other issues. So it is very important to have a good balance of the macronutrients. Understand what is good sugars versus bad sugars, good proteins and bad proteins, good fats and bad fats. So we're going to cover all of that in the modules. We are going to cover on a daily dozen rule book, which is what are the number of servings that you should be having in a day without really counting your calories. Because the moment every time you have to eat something, it's very irritating when you have to log the calories and you have to keep a tab of it. So how can you follow certain rules in your daily consumption which doesn't make you count the number of calories in order to be in a good progress of weight gain, weight loss, or whichever is your aim? We are going to understand about the importance of colors. Now, if you notice, most of our diet has become very yellow and brown. Think about French fries, potatoes, the rotis, even the way we cook our vegetables, and everything is very pale yellow and brown. So there is definitely an importance of introducing colors on our plate, also known sometimes as the rainbow diet. And why is it important? And not only in terms of the nutrition value, but also how it impacts our chakra system, our energies, our bodily energies, and our different functions. And how do we make these choices? We are also going to cover what are the different hacks in your food pairings. For example, there's a very interesting study that talks about how having a chicken burger versus having a chicken burger with avocado slice, the kind of blood sugar spike in both the cases is very, very different. So it was seen that with people who were having the chicken burger with the avocado slice, the blood sugars did not spike after the meal. So we are going to talk about a lot of hacks and techniques which you can use in the way you consume food, in the way you pair your food, in order to make a healthy choice which works, which enables your bodily functions. We are going to talk about the importance of processed foods. The reality is that a lot of us consume processed foods. Now, if we cannot move away from them, then what are some of the rule books which we can use during our grocery shopping, which will help us in picking the right processed foods? As the name goes, the program is called Food and Mood, and we are going to understand about what are the happy foods and what are the sad foods and what kind of hormones are produced in our body when we consume these kind of foods. We are also going to talk about the right supplements for you, whether you are struggling with the problem of having energy throughout the day, whether you are struggling with anxiety issues, or is it the immunity. So depending on whatever is your need, what are the right supplements for you? And when we talk about well-being is not only bodily, physical well-being, it is also the mental well-being. So we are also going to, during the process, learn a little about what are some of the meditation tools for releasing stress, for managing anger, for managing our tensions, and for the overall being in a good state of mind. While now talking about BMR, while a lot of it is a genetic role, but what are some of the techniques that we can use to boost up our basal metabolic rate? We are also going to be studying about that. Yes, some of the concepts, the rainbow diet, the 5:1 fiber rule for processed foods. We are also going to learn about how to make your own detox drinks and not spend a single penny on them. How you can do it at the comfort of your own house using the ingredients available in your kitchen. Yes, so with this we come to the end of the introduction, and over the next few days you will be exposed to Food Mood, which talks about the impact of various colors of foods on your emotions, your feelings, your immune system, and how to integrate it without feeling compromised on your favorite foods. The idea is to go away from all sorts of diets and move towards more sustainable lifestyle changes and move towards intuitive eating, where you are in the seat of the decision maker and you are making the right choices for you happily, not with the feeling of deprivation. That's it. Thank you.